In this video, I'm going to go over 8 assets that rich retirees don't buy and poor ones always do. Asset number 1, investment real estate that doesn't cash flow. I see this all the time that people come in and they're very proud of the investment properties they have and that they've been buying real estate and everything else. And then when we dive into the numbers, they are not cash flowing. They're just basically having assets, in essence, losing them money month in, month out. And they keep telling me that, oh, don't worry about it. In 30 years, it'll be paid off. In 30 years, you might be dead. And so that's why I always get a little bit of a snicker when I have people come in, because I'm like, buying real estate can be a very great investment, but it needs to either cash flow or have a strategy that you're going to make money in it. So when you do it, it's not that it's a bad investment, it's how you are investing and the outcome you're actually trying to get. Asset number 2, complex financial products and structured notes. So most people get introduced to these complex financial products or structured notes when they get to having a little bit of money, and they're sold in a way that it makes it seem like it's almost too good to be true, and that it gives you downside protection, or that it gives you an income that is extremely hard to find anywhere else. And the fact is that some of these products are actually good. I'm not going to say they're not, but what is interesting about them is that they can be extremely complex. They can have some liquidity issues to them as well. And what happens is that people end up buying into them, not truly understanding what their investment is, and that's the problem with them. Not that it's a bad investment product by design, it's that you don't understand what you actually have your money invested in, and that is a huge problem. I always like to follow the KISS principle, or the keep it simple, silly to be appropriate, is that you want to make sure where your money goes, you understand it, you understand what it's supposed to do, and you understand what the return and the liquidity is, so you know why your investments are doing what they're doing. Asset number 3, timeshares. While it can be an interesting investment in the sense you go to someplace nice, they sell it to you, it's a gorgeous, beachfront property, and they're like, hey, we can get you to this for a lower price than what you ended up paying for this vacation that you're on right now. Trust me, I've been there, I've seen it, I've sat through the meetings, and you know what? It honestly sounds amazing, because you're sitting there going, man, this would be so wonderful to spend time here with my family consistently day in, day out. But the fact is when you actually dive into the numbers and you look at the commitment that you're making, it always almost is a terrible situation financially for you, because you are committed for so long. You're committed to a certain property. Life changes, things change, and it may not be right for you. So what I've found with clients is that the timeshares typically don't pan out as good as they're sold. The fact is that they are sold, they are not bought. And so that's why you want to go into them with a very cautious mind. You want to think about them. So I'm not saying they're wrong for everyone, but I am saying that for the majority of people, they are not the right choice, and they are not an investment that you are thinking about and that it's going to save you money or make you money in the future. Asset number 4, whole life insurance as an investment. Don't get me wrong, I think insurance is important and it can definitely have its need there. But the fact is whole life typically is not going to be your best investment. It's a set amount, it grows at a certain percentage, which is typically going to be less than anything else. And so insurance can be very beneficial. You want to solve that need as far as being able to have the protection for your life, for your family, to make sure that they aren't going to be left destitute in the end. You want to make sure they are financially secure as well. But the fact is a whole life policy is going to be extremely expensive. It's going to have some high fees to it. And yes, they might sell it as a forced savings or something like that, and that you can borrow against it, which, yes, all of those things can be true, but for the majority of people, this is not the greatest investment for you. There also typically are high commissions on these, and so the salesman is going to sell it hard to you so that they can make that commission, which isn't really in a fiduciary capacity. So all I have to say about buying a whole life policy is buyer beware, and it can make sense for you, but it is a very, very specific situation where they do. Asset number 5, high fee annuities and variable annuities. Now, annuities are a great financial tool. They can work for many situations and many different people. In essence, an annuity is like a pension, right? It's guaranteed income. But the fact is that when you buy an annuity, it can also affect your taxes, because everything in an annuity is going to come out as taxable income. So you want to be clear on the types of accounts that you're putting into an annuity. You also want to watch how much those fees are, right? I've seen annuities cost as much as, probably 3 to 4% on an annual basis, and they're hidden in the sense of that they're still told to you, but they're in that gigantic form that you're going to sign that honestly, I've not met one person in my career who's actually read word for word that entire document. So if you're one of those people who have and you know what you're getting into, fantastic. But otherwise, you need to understand that there are definitely fees within that annuity. Also, one of the big things is an annuity ties your money up, right? And it's a set amount that you can't really access. If you access it or go against the rules, it can adjust or change the annuity and what you think it's going to do for the entire rest rest of the period that you have that annuity. So it's not that they're completely bad. It's that not everyone should have an annuity. It doesn't fit every single situation out there. It's a very specific need. And if you have that need, then yes, it's a good idea, but it's a not one size fits all for anyone that's out there. Asset number 6 is vacation homes and recreational properties. Now this one is somewhat unique in the sense that quite wealthy people can have them, right? And it doesn't affect their cash flow needs. Where it really becomes a problem is when you're stretching yourself too far. And now you have the expenses of 2 homes, 2 maintenance plans on it, 2 insurance policies. And the fact is sometimes you end up going to that place and instead of vacationing, you're doing maintenance, you're doing work, you're fixing the house. And then it's not a vacation at all. It's just housework at a different house in a different location. And that wasn't the intent in the first place. And so sometimes what makes sense is if you have the extra cash or you want to go visit, stay in a hotel. You could do it for quite some time. But always view it that way and make sure you never are overextending yourself with a second home that you aren't enjoying and you aren't getting the full benefit from. Again, it's about lifestyle. If it's adding to your lifestyle, it's fantastic. If it's not adding to your lifestyle and it's eating away at your assets and your cash flow, it's probably time to get rid of it. If you're getting value from this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button at the bottom. There's plenty more content coming out that could help you and your current situation. All right, let's go ahead and dive into asset number 7, actively managed mutual funds with high fees. Again, these are typically sold. They typically are in accounts out there in regards to if you're sitting at a Fidelity or Schwab or Vanguard fund, something like that, is that they want you to go into it. That's how they actually make money. But if you actually look at the statistics of how they actually perform over time, the longer you have with an actively managed fund, the less their performance is in regards to their index they're trying to beat. So what I mean by that is the longer you're invested, the worse you're going to do statistically. Not always the case, but in regards to it, typically speaking, how the numbers break down is that over a 10-year time frame, about 93% of all active managers actually underperform the benchmark they're trying to do. That's not saying that you can't beat the market. Obviously, there's 6% that do. What I am saying is that it's a very slim percentage that you actually are going to be able to pick the right ones. And you have a much better chance of actually just buying the index, having low cost fees, and making sure your portfolio is consistently growing based on what your current needs and goals and risk tolerance are. Lastly, asset number 8, the oversized home. It's not saying that a home is bad or that it's anything else. What I am saying is that an oversized home typically has more expenses, more utilities, more taxes, more insurance that you're going to have to pay on it. And it can just be eating away at you. So if it's just the 2 of you in a 10,000 square foot house, probably too much for you, right? Because you only, as someone once told me, you can only put your butt in one place at one time. So to that extent, make sure that your house is where you and your spouse enjoy or you yourself enjoy, and it's filling your needs of what you need right now, and that is not just a cash burden to you in the sense of just sucking money from you to maintain your lifestyle. If you could live the same lifestyle you have in a smaller home that requires less upkeep, less maintenance, less taxes, that sometimes can be one of the best financial decisions you can make in retirement. Every single thing on this list has one thing in common. They look smart on the surface. They get pitched by people who sound credible, and they quietly transfer value away from you over time. Complexity does that. High fees do that. Trapped capital does that. The wealthy retirees that actually sleep well at night are not the ones with a portfolio with the most impressive names. They're the ones who know exactly what every dollar is doing, can access their money when they need it, and kept things simple enough to stay in control. So if you're ready to take control of your retirement, click the link in the bio and book a call with me. It's completely free. I promise you, you will not regret it. I'll see you there.